Michelle with Treecat here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're catching this uh, video. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a gorgeous fall Saturday morning slash afternoon slash evening, depending on where you're catching this. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the world of e-commerce. There's so much going on. And I would describe it as chaos, wouldn't you? With all of the changes that platforms decide they're going to make and all of the things they decide they're going to undo. And well, let's just talk about it and how it affects you and how it affects you as a Treecat user and why it's more important than ever to have a cross-listing inventory management tool, so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket, so that you have a way of having backups and ways to download all your stuff through a CSV, and the ability to just cross-list and have it taken down, and to use guest accounts, and just all the things, right? All the things. I think that, having a multi-platform inventory management cross-listing thing is a good thing, and it's a standard practice nowadays, and it's only helpful for you with the chaos that's going on in e-commerce. So let's talk about this, because yeah, it's a lot. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely pivoted pretty quickly to try to lower my prices in response to, for example, Poshmark and Mercari deciding they're going to change their pricing structures. Now, Mercari did it quite a few months ago. Let me pull up my Poshmark's decision was a couple of weeks ago. Mercari's decision was 3 months ago. And as you can see on Reddit, some people, I actually initially was like, oh, cool, 0% fees on Mercari, how awesome. But then my sales tanked on Mercari, and I was like, oh, yeah, when you shift all the, fees to the buyer, that's going to make them not want to buy. It's not like Mercari or Depop or Amazon, and they have a huge user base. They're smaller companies. And so I think, they were trying something, though. They were trying to be disruptive. And I think that's a good thing. And I think it's admirable. It's admirable what Mercari and Depop tried to do. And they're still trying to do it. And I hope it works out for them, right? But I think Poshmark, I think they were publicly held, but maybe they went back to being privately held. I'm not sure. They might be a publicly held company, but so they have to answer to their shareholders and their board of directors. And if something's not making them money, they're going to pull that. And they changed their fee structure, right? So Poshmark cut seller fees and added buyer fees. They kind of split it. But when we all did the math, we realized, oh, it's actually not making us a lot more money. And I think that there was a bit of a backlash, right? So this happened on October 3rd. And when did they decide? They made the recent decision to change October 21st. So yeah, this last week they made the decision, and it was a shock, right? They didn't give anybody any notice. They just were like, we're changing it back, And so these things happen. These platforms, and I mean, I can recall 2017 when eBay did something that was pretty disruptive. They changed all of their item descriptions from allowing you to put in HTML tags to saying, we're not doing HTML tags anymore. And I had made this big, huge investment in changing all of my listings, my descriptions to HTML. And then one day, boom, they're like, you got to go change all this stuff. You got to go change it to not having HTML tags. And it was just a simple, thing that I had to put in there. Or was it that they were doing HTML? Anyways, I can't remember exactly. This is a long time ago. But it just goes to show you that these platforms, especially the ones that are, publicly held, that have to answer to their shareholders, that are, they answer to their board of directors, their shareholders, and if, if there's any issue with their, stock price or whatever, they're going to make changes so that they're, making money as opposed to losing money. So anyways, back in the day, I remember I had to overhaul I had about 1,700 listings. I had to overhaul all of my listings And it was just devastating because there was really no, there might have been notice. I think maybe they, and this is what I was kind of first doing all this e-commerce stuff. And I was just a single platform user back then. And I think maybe they kind of hinted at it in their, you know how they do the quarterly seller updates. I think they were talking about it, but at that time I wasn't as analytical, and I just didn't know enough to follow their quarterly updates and to follow their their shareholder meetings and to keep up with all that. But I think that now that I know that you can kind of get little hints here and there about their plans, now I know, oh, they're talking about this, they may be implementing this, and it's something to think about, right? Think about, because they're going to pull it like that. They're going to change things like that. And so you have to be abreast. So that's why it's a good idea to, read the blogs like the e-commerce bites and the value added resource, and just keep up with the things that are happening. But this Poshmark change was pretty dramatic and pretty sudden. They're going back to their standard 20% fees. And I used to think 20% was just outrageous, but they made it so easy for users. They handled no returns, unless there was a defect, and they handled everything for you. You didn't have to deal with all the customer stuff that you have to deal with on eBay, and they had the customer support there for you, and the shipping was easier, and it was just a little bit of a refreshing, easier platform. That was my second platform that I went to. Now I'm on all three. I used to be on Etsy. I used to do Amazon, but I just decided to focus on those three for now, and really perfect the three platform situation. And so the bottom line is, these platforms can and will change things on a dime, and you're left to pick up the pieces, right? I do think that the Poshmark change back to their 20% is good, because I think that they have set a lot of their user base, and people were seeing less sales, right? The market probably isn't going to bear additional prices on the buyer side, right? That's just how things are. So that's the reality. But expect changes like this to happen. It's happened to me in the past, and at this point I'm not so devastated by it that I'm like, oh my gosh, my world is ending, I have to go change. I did go and start lowering my prices. I would do delist relist, like 10 delist relists, 10 to 20 to 30 delist relists with Treecat per day, and I would change the prices a little bit. So I started changing my prices here and there. I didn't do my whole entire inventory because I was waiting to see how this was going to play out, right? I think all of us were. So luckily, it's not a huge deal for me to get my prices back to where I want them. And I'm excited to be, hitting it hard with Poshmark. Treecat has the Poshmark sharing now. And so that has really impacted my impressions. And so when I get these likes, impressions, meaning people seeing my items and then liking them if they are interested in them, and then I make the offers, and then that gives me more sales. So I would say that Poshmark, even during this transitionary time when they upped the seller fees, I was still getting more sales on Poshmark because I'm doing the Poshmark sharing all day and all night at the nightly party. Well, Treecat's doing it for me. It's actually just like a set it and forget it type of a deal, which is amazing. I love it. But yeah, so I'm not mad that Poshmark went back to their old fees. I think it's a good thing. And actually, like I said, 20% doesn't seem like that much now because eBay is nickeling and diming us, right, for having to promote, right? Having to make, you don't have to make offers, but obviously that's the way to get sales, in my opinion. Maybe you run promotions, maybe you run ads, and promote it, even if you promote it, like I try to promote at the minimum on eBay, and then I make an offer. So you're promoting at the minimum, maybe like 3.5 to 5%, and then you're making an offer at 5%. That's probably like 10% extra, right? And then you're paying 13, 17% like that, just on, having a store and all the fees and stuff like that. So 20% on Poshmark doesn't seem that bad. And the thing that I love actually about Poshmark is this the ability to generate more impressions without having to. You can promote on Poshmark, but I find that sharing all day and at the nightly party does the same thing, and it's free. It's free, especially if you are a Treecat user and you're cross listing. So if your item is cross listing, you might as well share it. You might as well delist, relist it, and do all the like automated stuff in the background to get those impressions because it really does make a difference. So, with that being said, I want to get back to the chaos in the industry. And like I was talking about, how, everyone was saying, oh, we're all going to, like, put the fees onto the buyer. Even eBay, the rumor was that eBay was I mean, I can't remember where I heard this, but I think the rumor was that eBay was going to start doing, well, they're doing it in the UK for private sellers, right? So non-business sellers, they're letting them sell apparel at 0%. And I think they're testing it out. And then the rumor was, oh, they're going to start implementing that eBay US starting January of 2025. Um, do you think they're going to do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they were, maybe planting some seeds to see, right? To see, because this is looked like where the industry was going. Mercari did it, Depop did it, Poshmark did it, and they were like, well, let's see what happens. But I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, if they're smart, they won't do that, because I just think it's not helpful to the buyer. The buyer at this point, it's an economy that's challenging for a lot of buyers, right? And so they've seen some spikes in inflation, and I just don't think that that extra added fee is going to go over well on these smaller platforms. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens with eBay, whether or not they implement this. I'm skeptical that they will, given what the market has been saying to us. Um, let's see. I also wanted to talk about, yeah, so I was just like redditing and looking at some of the, like, responses that have been happening with people observing how their sales are going with the new fee change. And like I said, while I respect Mercari for trying to be a disruptor and trying to do new things, they may end up rolling this back. And there's also been rumors that people have already, they're testing rolling some of the fees back to the seller. So stay tuned. I mean, stay tuned, keep yourself abreast. Like I said, check out the blogs and the Reddits, and keep yourself abreast of what's going on. I also I used to sell on Etsy. I don't sell on Etsy right now, but another example of these platforms just changing things on a dime without any notice. I also saw that Etsy recently decided to no longer allow third-party shipping, like Pirate Ship. So you can set up Pirate Ship on the back end, and it would, like, then do all the stuff and report it to Etsy. And all of a sudden, boom, they made an announcement on October 21st that integration was not going to be allowed. They have another third party program that they will integrate, but they're not doing like Pirate Ship, for example. And so all those people who, like, are multi-platform users and have Pirate Ship for their backend for all their platforms, they're screwed. They've got to either migrate to a different, a different third-party shipping app or whatever. But my point is, expect, changes to happen quickly. Expect them to be rolled back if they don't work quickly. And so you've got to pivot. What does this mean to you as a multi-platform e-commerce seller? Well, it means that you need to make sure that you've got, something like Treecat, right? That's going to help you manage it all, and that works as a backup, right? You need to have stuff backed up, because who knows, who knows how all these changes affect the platforms and how they retain your information or not. You just never know, right? So one thing that's nice about Treecat is that it's not only a place to centrally manage your listings and to have them cross-listed and to have them delist, relisted automatically without the touch of the button, even while you sleep. And to let you have guest accounts and Poshmark sharing and automations like delist, relist. But, you know, it's also a backup. So you have all your stuff backed up and you can download a CSV. So this is kind of a new feature. I'm not sure whether or not we talked about this, but if you go to your inventory tab, there's a button called export CSV. So you can export all of your listings into a CSV if you need to, for whatever reason. Like say something happens on eBay, something happens on one of the other platforms, and you need to get that information corrected. Treecat's got that covered for you. So that's just yet another, thing that's helping you to make sure that you're in charge. Don't let the platforms be in charge. You need to be in charge, in my opinion. That's just a do yourself a favor type of, a tip, tip of the day type of thing. I mean, do what you want, but I'm just saying, like, it's helpful to be in charge of your inventory and have it centrally managed and have ways to provide yourself with a backup and a CSV download that you can export and so on and so forth. So, you can respond to things when they happen, and that's really nice. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, so, and also if you were a single platform seller, make sure you no longer have all your eggs in one basket. That's just not a good practice anymore. You need to diversify, at least to Poshmark and Mercari, right? And possibly more in the future. For sure, more in the future. But start with 3 and get that nailed. Get that nailed down. Yeah. So, and yeah. Let's see. We talked about the backups. We talked about the CSV. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Super important. Let's talk about the other piece of news with Treecat. So we're always constantly updating and improving. And one of the things that that I've been testing this last week is a new agent. New agent is necessary because we're in growth mode, right? We're getting lots of new users. We've added more new features like the Poshmark sharing and so forth. And so we want to improve. We constantly are improving our agent to make it faster, more reliable. And so we have a new Windows agent that I would recommend you download if you're on Windows. The Mac version is coming soon. That takes a little bit longer with the Mac version because you have to get it. You have to get permissions from the Mac store or whatever. But the Windows version is available now. And actually, new people that are coming on board with Treecat are automatically getting the new version of the agent. Now, I've been testing it this week. It's a lot faster for me, especially on Poshmark and Mercari, which is excellent. I'm super happy with it. And yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to go ahead and install it and give it a try at this point if you're a Windows user. Now, how do you do that? So you want to go to your agent configuration, right? And there will be, and so I can tell that I have a new agent because I have version 1.0.0.10. The old version is 1.0.0.09. Okay, so the new version is 0.10. And if you need like detailed instructions, go to the right, if you're on Treecat, to the right upper hand corner, and you will see, let me enlarge this. You will see this little, this guy right here, this little question mark. And if you click on the question mark and you go to documentation, it will take you to a screen that has all of our documentation on how to do stuff. And the one you want is Treecat Treecat installing and uninstalling Windows Agent. So you just click on that, and the first part of that document is what you do when you are a very first new user. But the last page is how to upgrade the agent. So let me enlarge that. And it's pretty simple instructions, right, on how to do that. So you're going to be going from 1.0.0.9. Oh, sorry, it wasn't 09, it was just 0.9. My bad. You're going to go from that, and you have to check for the new version, click on the new version, and click yes to upgrade to the new version. And that's what you do there. You may need to edit a proxy key, and then it's going to say, do you want to update? And you say yes. So a lot easier than when you initially installed it, right? It's just an upgrade to the new agent. So yeah, you want to give that a try and see how much faster it'll be for. I've noticed an increase in the time it takes to delist relist. Those happen quicker. The time it takes to cross list, that's faster on Mercari and Poshmark. And just the ability to have all the different things running at once. So I have my Poshmark sharing running on all day, and at the nightly party, like literally all the time, that's running. Treecat's also bringing in all my new listings that I do, so it does that like every 30 minutes. Excuse me. And then it's also checking on a regular basis for any sales, and that takes top priority, of course. So all these actions, it's managing all these different actions that are happening, and it's doing it in a faster way. So yay! So that's good news. Yeah, so that's the kind of exciting stuff that's happening. And the cool thing is all the set it and forget it stuff that we've got going on now, right? So the Poshmark sharing is all set it and forget it. So let me go to, let's see, where's my Poshmark sharing? Under settings, I go to, Poshmark closet sharing, right? And all you have to do in the initial setup, you won't have anything running, but you'll click quick schedule all day follower. You'll click quick schedule nightly party, and you'll have to press the play buttons here. Right now, they're I don't want to touch them because they're running, but these will be not active, so you just activate them. And that's all you have to do. And then they just run in the background. It's set it and forget it one time. It'll just keep running for you. You don't have to redo it every day or every week or anything like that. So that's one of our set it and forget it's. The other set it and forget it, well, of course, the auto delist, right, and the sales detection, that's, you don't ever have to do anything with that. So that's the other set it and forget it. It's not even set it, it's just forget it. And just don't worry about it. But the other one is the delist relist. And when you are getting ready to, and what I like to do is I like to do some delist relists. Like I'm still kind of working through my July delists, July items that I want to delist relist. And so I go to the date range of the items, and just every day I do like 10, 20, 30, depending on what I feel like doing. And you can do them in bulk, right? You just select the ones that you want, and then you are, let me move this, you're going to main actions, and you're saying, I'm going to delist relist these items. And I am now scheduling them for 28 days. And then I don't have to, schedule it anymore. It's just it's a one-time thing. I'm not going to do it right this second, but basically that's a set it and forget it. So like once you start getting all of your inventory on a schedule to be delist relisted, it's really powerful because it's like totally hands-free. You're just letting it delist relist 10, 20, 30 items every day for you on a scheduled basis. And all of these things are free. If you are a cross lister and your items are cross listed, you might as well delist relist them. You might as well Poshmark share them because those are free. You might as well use guest accounts. You might as well use the analytics, right? All the stuff comes free. It's a pay as you go. Let's see. Do we have the Do we have the pricing? Yeah, the pay as you go, all of our pricing, is we only get paid when you sell. So you get quite a deal. So if you have 30 sales a month, let's see if I can enlarge this, you're going to pay $15 with a code, and a promotional code. You need the promo code to get the 20% off. And if you go to affiliates, we have a link right here. You can go to our affiliates and you can pick an affiliate you want to use their code, and then you get 20% off. So if you have 30 billings a month, after 1 month, you would be charged $15. If you have 100 sales per month, you'd be charged $39.15. If you had 140, you'd be charged $51.40. And then if you had anything over that, we only bill a penny per delisted item. So it gets it becomes quite a deal for, enterprise, high volume sellers. So if you're planning on being an enterprise or high volume seller, yay. Yay. So anyways, I hope that you guys, go and check out some. We kind of revamped the website, and there's some new, we just have a little quick 30-second to a minute explainers on all the different, all the different features. Some you might not have known about, like, we do quantity handling, right? You can print out packing slips, customized packing slips. We have something called Fast Match, right? So when you're first onboarding, we have a quicker way to onboard. So, so you can maybe check those out. Guest accounts, you can have unlimited guest accounts for free if you have somebody that's helping you, and they don't have to know your password or anything like that on eBay. They don't have to know your password on Poshmark. CSV downloads. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. We're almost out of time here. Any questions? No questions, but if you do have questions, you know how to reach us, right? contact@treecat.io, support@treecat.io. We have our Reddit forum. And of course, we have our little question mark dealie on the upper right-hand corner, right? And you can click on support and file a trouble ticket. That's another way to contact us. So lots of ways to get in contact with us. And if you have any questions, reach out to us in that way, right? Because we're always available for you. And we also do free, what do you call it? We have free personal training. So if you wanted to do that, you would just click on here and it takes you to Calendly, and you can set up a 30-minute troubleshooting, and we can help with whatever. So lots of ways to get in touch. Should you have any questions, concerns, what have you. And so you guys keep on keeping on, right? Because we love e-commerce. We don't want it to go away. It's something that we cherish, and it's changed a lot of our lives. I was a mom, stay-at-home mom, kind of, for quite a few years, and this was my way of kind of making some extra cash for my family. And I know a lot of people that are Treecat users have disabilities, or they just want a side hustle. Whatever the case may be, it's a way for you to have that extra income. It's a way for you to have a business, and it's pretty cool. E-commerce is pretty cool. We don't want to see it go away, so we're doing everything that we can to elevate and enhance, the e-commerce situation, right? So keep on keeping on, keep on doing what you do. We love you guys, and have an amazing, amazing weekend. Mahalo. Bye.